The six-stage Reston-Breakes ethics regime provides a framework for lawyers when acting as moral agents. Renfrew could have therefore utilised the model to manage ethical issues regarding the Chamber's estate. The first stage is awareness, which required Renfrew to realise the situation's morally salient features and ethical dimensions. Renfrew initially experienced moral myopia and believed potential problems such as the misleading witness signature and affidavit could be overcome by simply ignoring them. Implementing the framework would have provided Renfrew with a specific awareness to realise her decision's consequences in slowing down the probate process and creating mistrust in the legal system. In the judgment stage, Renfrew needed to possess a correct understanding of morality's requirements. A correct understanding involves judging in accordance to the spirit and letter of professional conduct. However, Renfrew's moral reflectiveness was affected by cognitive dissonance and self-confidence. These disablers caused Renfrew overconfidence in manipulating the legal process for her client's benefit. Superior moral reflectiveness would have enabled Renfrew to be realistic about the outcome of her illegitimate tactics. She would have correctly judged that her duty to the spirit of the law should outweigh any personal or client-related concerns. After judgment, moral motives require Renfrew to prioritize ethical demands over countervailing desires. Renfrew's partiality towards Mrs. Chambers as her agent and her self-serving desire to retain her professional reputation likely encouraged a willingness to engage in unethical conduct to win at all costs. If Renfrew was morally motivated, she would have prioritized her legal professional duties irrespective of a client relationship. Action requires one to display moral character by converting the intent into ethical action. Renfrew lacked moral character in fearing the damage to her firm's interests if she favored morality over her reputation and client-based concerns. A professional with strong moral character would not have panicked and made a choice out of fear. Instead, they would have had the emotional intelligence to turn their guilt about their mistakes into urgency towards correcting their actions. Renfrew's success at implementing and achieving these goals depended on her moral competence. As Renfrew chose not to act morally before the proceedings, it is difficult to assess how her moral competence would have affected the ethical outcome. However, Renfrew's frankness and candour during the tribunal reflect well on her moral competence, as she was commended for demonstrating insight and remorse about what misconduct occurred and why she participated. Renfrew could have morally reflected both immediately after becoming aware of each incident and at a later time. Renfrew's moral reflection during the proceedings was key to the less severe orders. However, the framework only incorporates a moral reflectiveness triggered by intrinsic respect for the rules, which Renfrew's earlier non-compliance showed she lacked.